What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing this morning? Um, so basically today, what I want to do is here's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say this, but then we're going to dive into what I mean by it. You already saw the thumbnail. Um, no more bagging on Harley Benton's. Okay, I'm just not going to do it anymore. Uh, I bought one. I saw what I needed to see. I know what I need to know. Um, and that's that. I'm glad I did it. Actually, I wish it would have turned out differently, but I'm glad I did it for sure. And I also realized that it's only one guitar. You know what I mean? Because we could say that about any kind of brand, that any one guitar, right? That being said, there are some principal things wrong with that guitar that I didn't like, but okay, we'll just give it that it's one guitar. So I'm literally, no more stupid memes on Facebook about how. Okay, here's the thing though. Why can I post? I'm going to ask some questions, and I want some genuine conversation about this. Okay, I'm literally not trying to bag on anybody. Why can I post a meme about Gibson peg heads breaking off, and everybody just laugh, even though I know it doesn't happen as much as people think it does, and I keep telling people just don't drop your guitar, but it doesn't make me mad. I just think it's funny. But then I post a meme about Harley Benton, and the Harley Benton crowd goes insane. They go insane. Apparently, somebody posted on my Facebook yesterday that there's some Harley Benton groups on Facebook that are just calling me all kinds of terrible names and stuff because of this content. Um, so it's weird, right? It's like a double standard. That being here nor there, let's just set that aside for a second. And what I will say is, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to post those. I'll give you that, okay? Even though I don't think it's fair, I'll give you that. I'm not going to post memes about it. I'm not going to bag on the guitars anymore. None of that stuff. Because to be honest with you, I don't know that there's really a problem with the guitars. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're recommendable, especially for a new player. I don't think they're recommendable. I'm not going to recommend them. I'm still not going to recommend them. For a new player, I'm not going to, especially. However, one of the things I have really come to look at, last night what I did is I made a post, Harley Benton versus Firefly. I was like, which one? I did it for two reasons. One, because I was like, you know what, screw it. No more Harley Benton stuff. We're not going to post anymore. So I just started posting normal stuff again. No views whatsoever. Like completely crickets. Posted Harley Benton versus Firefly, immediately a bunch of comments, which means it's not me. I'm not rage baiting anybody. So you can't rage bait somebody if nobody rages, right? So if you have the lack of self-control that makes you post on something, you're the one with the problem. I just posted the thing, okay? Again, we could set that aside because what I got from that post, the Harley Benton versus Firefly thing, is I was going down there and reading the people that were genuinely like, I love my guitar. It's so cool. And I'm like, you know what? I love my guitar too. It is not fair of me to bag on these guitars, intentionally bag on them, I mean, like, over the top, to the people that really like them. It's not fair to them. It's just not. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I mean, I will take that L and I will just tell you I'm not going to do it anymore. Does that mean the guitars are good? No. Does that mean I'm going to recommend them? No. But I am not going to say anything. I don't want to ruin anybody's experience playing guitar. I don't. tell you not to do it, I'm not going to do it. Okay? I'm just not. Does that give the whack Harley Benton crowd? Okay, so let's put them in another bucket. So we got everybody that loves their guitars, and then a subset of those are the dorks. Okay? My guitar is just as good as something else. I've got 10 Harley Bentons and they're better than my Les Paul. They are not. Okay? I'll let you say it from now on. But if you come at me trying to convince me of something that my Gibson sucks or that your Harley Benton as good as, I may stand up for myself in that situation. Because the people that feel that way are literally doubling down. And they're just wrong. Well, you always say you're right. Okay. When you take, let's talk about doors. Since we're talking about materials, and is this guitar better than this guitar? Well, this material is better than this material. Okay? My back door on my house, my in-laws replaced it. I didn't. And they went really cheap. So it's a Home Depot door. I need to replace it, actually. It's rotting from the inside, and it's only like 4 years old. Because it's made out of cheap door wood. Okay? My front door, I replaced, and it's a 200-pound slab of walnut. And as long as I maintain it, it will last forever. The front door is better than the back door. And the reason we're talking about doors is because the Meranti wood that the Harley Benton is made from is essentially core wood for plywood. So it's not made out of plywood, but it's made out of the same wood that plywood is made out of. Okay? Whether its moisture content is right or not, you put that up against a piece of Honduran or Indian mahogany, it's not as good. It is measurably not as good. So to say that this is just as good as this is not as good. Well, it plays fine. Okay, I get that. But you can't say that it's just as good, because it's not. The hardware is garbage. It's okay. Again, too strong. The hardware is cheap hardware. It's not as good as the Gibson hardware. Okay. The finish is actually very nice finish. The stainless frets are not as nice stainless frets as real stainless frets. They're just not. So quantifiably, like you could literally calculate, and this makes sense, right? That a $300 guitar has to be built to a price that a $3,000 guitar doesn't, or even a $500 guitar or an $800 guitar. They're going to be built to a different price. There's going to be different materials. There's going to be better materials, more stable materials, etc. So the just as good as thing is still it's not a thing. It's just not a thing. You can say it all you want, but it's not a thing. Okay. So we'll just let that lie for a second. So, and this is actually not a change for me. The problem has never been the guitar. The problem is the people who have such a reverence. Like, these things are godlike to them. And they just go to war on social media. Apparently saying very disparaging things about me. I don't really care. Doesn't matter. But, and others who think differently than them. But that's what I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to pay that back. I don't want to pay that back anymore. So we're not going to talk about the guitars anymore in a disparaging way. I really, really think we're going through this post last night, and I'm like, you know what? This is really neat. Like, this is really neat. They love these things. I think it's awesome. And for the reasons that they love them, most of them were like, they really liked them. And I think a lot of the folks that follow me know how I feel about it, so I think they were not, maybe on purpose, maybe avoiding that, but not doing the just as good as thing. There was a couple of people, but for the most part, they weren't. Um, and I think it's a core tenet as we review stuff that we don't really compare things. People always want to compare everything, and people say, "But I have this much money, so I want to make sure I'm getting the best value." But in practice, what they're actually doing is they probably already have a guitar. This happens all the time. I have one of these. You should review it. Well, what you're doing is you're going to do one of two things. You're going to expect me to agree with you, or you're going to talk a bunch of trash when I don't agree with you. That's what you're going to do. So that's usually the reason why people want to compare things. Where I really think the more fair thing to do is say, this is a $300 object. Is it worth $300? In the case of the Harley Benton, I believe it is. I really do. I genuinely believe that. Okay, I got a bad one. So there's a couple of different buckets here. Like there's a couple of different things involved here. I got a bad one. Let's throw that out. If I got a good one, then I think it's a $300 guitar. That's what it is. I think it's good. I think, one of the things that people glossed over when I cut that guitar apart is it played great, actually. It played great most of the time. You know what I mean? It moved around, which was the issue. But when it played great, actually. The frets were good. Like, there's a couple high ones, but I think that was the neck movement. I know it was the neck movement. It played great. It kind of stayed in tune until the neck moved, and then it didn't. But, it was fine. I really mean that. Like, it was fine. Now, there's that. So we have a bad one, and then we have, if it's good, it's good. It works. It's worth $300 for sure. But that's it. It's a cheap guitar that's worth $300. Next part of a review, would you recommend it? No. Not at all. I would not. Because of the inconsistency in manufacturing. It has nothing to do with how good this guitar plays. It has nothing to do with how good your guitar plays. I have 10 of them and they're all awesome. Okay, cool. But that's great. And I'm glad your guitar is great. But I'm not going to recommend them because of the inconsistency. Because along with all the people that love their guitars, there was a lot of people that are like, I love my guitar, but I had to do this, this, and this, and this to make it right. And the majority of folks say that, which makes it not a recommendable product to me. If I have to buy a brand new product and do a bunch of things to make it usable or to make it nice, it is not a good product. It is not a good product. When you read on a website, this is what this comes with, and then it should come with that, and it should do the thing that it says it's going to do. And if it doesn't, it's not a good product. If you have to make a bunch of changes to make it acceptable, it's not a good product. So I'm not going to it's not a recommendable product from my standpoint. So I'm not going to recommend it. I'm still not going to. And so one of the things and as a result of that, you hate cheap guitars. I don't actually. I'm really excited about the thing we talked about on the podcast yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. About starting to test inexpensive instruments. I think it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited about it. I've got an ESP coming tomorrow, and I'm really stoked about it. And I think there's going to be some things about the guitar that people aren't going to like. But I think it's going to be good anyway. We'll see. I don't know. But I hope, I should say. Yeah, I think it's going to be great to do this. I think there's nothing wrong with inexpensive guitars. There are lots of good ones. But I think the culture behind the cheap guitar has created an environment that is not a real, it's not a reality of what's going on. It's like they have created their own little world that they live in called a Facebook group, where they just pat each other on the back about what they've done. And it's cool. The community part of it's great until you start attacking other communities. You know what I mean? Because your guitar's not as good as a Gibson. It's not as good as an Epiphone. It's not. I just had a new Epiphone in here, and it was an unbelievable guitar. Unbelievable guitar. I mean, to be honest with you, that Epiphone probably was one of the most recommendable guitars I've ever had in here. Ever. I'm talking more than Gibsons, more than Fenders, more than PRSs, more than anything. Recommendable. Okay? That doesn't mean it was better. It means it was recommendable. It means that there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It was 100% perfect. It was at a fantastic price point for the quality. You put all those things together and you go, that guitar was one of the most recommendable guitars. Can I recommend a custom shop Gibson? No, because it's expensive for what you get. So it's not recommendable to most people. Even my PRS CE24, I would recommend it if you want to try an entry level, core PRS. It's really, really nice. But for a lot of folks, it's kind of too much. So I wouldn't recommend it. But man, in that $800 area, which to me is the sweet spot to get a lifelong guitar, that guitar was amazing. It's not better than my PRS. It's not better than my Les Paul. My Les Paul is better. My Gibson Les Paul. It is a better guitar. But recommendable to most people, man, that thing was good. I mean, really, really good. And I hope that we can find some other guitars even less expensive than that we can say that about. But these are not it. These are not it. But that being said, I'm not going to make stupid memes and whatever. Now, if you come at me, it's fair game, dude. I mean, and what you need to understand is, I take this whole thing from a very technical and an engineering side of things. So if you come to me and you say, this guitar is better because of this, and I'm like, okay, well, let's look into it. And let's tear it down and let's see what's going on. Let's look at the statement that you just said and let's see what's going on there. And I'm gonna dive into it and give you an analysis based on science and engineering. And when you tell me this is better than this, it means that you like it a lot. I get it. You could just say, I like my guitar a lot. It's not better than. I like my guitar a lot. If everybody would say a few things in the guitar community, like, I like my guitar a lot. Full stop. Done. Right? Even I like my guitar better than my Epiphone or better than my Gibson. I think you're lying, but maybe not. Maybe you do like it. That's okay. Cool. In fact, I won't even say that. I will just say, if you say that, then I'll believe you. If the next gig I see you at, you're playing your Harley band. If not, then I don't believe you. You know what I mean? Because Instagram posts don't count. Okay. And the other thing that people need to stop doing is, every Gibson is perfect. I don't even say that. People say I say that, but I don't. Every Gibson I've owned is perfect. I've never had to return a Gibson product except for a shipping damage acoustic. We've talked about that before. It had a broken brace. But I've never had to return a Gibson, and I'm pretty picky. Based on everything about me, that I'm very picky about things. Um, but I still give you that if you have problems with your Gibson, just return it. And I always say that. I always say that. Don't complain about it on the internet. Just return it. Just return it. No big deal. And even if you do complain about it on the internet, I guess I don't even care. I don't care what you do. But just return the guitar and get a better one. If you have a Harley Benton, return it and get a better one. And enjoy the guitar and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Just that's the goal, right? Is to enjoy it. So I'll give you that. It doesn't, and I've always said this. People just don't want to hear it. It's like it doesn't matter how much the guitar costs. If it's a bad one, return it. Get a new one. I always say that. Always. And I would even say that with this Harley Benton thing, except for where I live, it doesn't make sense. I would have lost $158. So it just doesn't make sense to return it, and it's not a playable guitar. So there's that. It's not a reliable guitar. So we'll say that. So yeah, there it is. I'll take the L on it. I really will. I have no problem saying, you know what? I've been wrong to do that. I've been wrong to really directly attack the guitar. And I got to tell you, just so he's probably watching it, and he's probably going to see it on YouTube too. I'm not going to mention his name, but there was one guy on Facebook especially just directly attacking me and thinks I'm the worst person in the world. And he had some bearing on this because I'm like, it is a bit ridiculous. I appreciate you pointing it out. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. So I'll take the L on it. I will. I absolutely will. And from this video, this is it. So no more videos on the other channel, no more stuff on Facebook, no more stuff on anything. Tomorrow, we are going to start looking at other expensive guitars that are readily available to people. And we're going to start diving in and doing live unboxings and like that. Because what you guys need to know, and you need to understand this, I don't dislike cheap guitars. I think they're incredible. But there's just this religion surrounding a few brands that is so rabid that I just don't, I can't support it. I just can't support it. So I'm going to do it in my own way. We're going to find some other brands. We're going to look at some stuff, and we're going to make recommendations, like real recommendations, not like an influencer thing, not like affiliate dollars. You have to understand that the Harley Benton brand and the Firefly brand are driven by influencer dollars. They have no marketing budget. And here's something I want you to think about. If you have a $299 guitar that already has hardly any profit in it and is made of a door, and then 8% of that $299 goes to the influencer to sell that guitar to you, what does that say about the brand? What does it say? It says they don't have any brand recognition. They don't have anything that they're actually selling. They're selling you some hype. That's what it is. There's no other marketing surrounding it. Nothing. They understand it. It's very smart. It's a great way to do it. But on a $299 guitar, 8%, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I get 5% on an American Fender. And I'm happy with that because I don't want that money really. I just want you to hear about the guitar. I honestly don't make money off of Fender. I think I've mentioned this before. I think I make like $68 in the last 5 years off of Fender. So it's not anything. I don't do this for the influencer dollars because I don't make them really. We make a little bit when we say, go to this link and check this out, because I will say that tomorrow. I think it's Sweetwater. It might be 4, something like that. I don't remember. Because honestly, I think last month on Sweetwater I made, again, like $60. Like it just wasn't that much money. So again, it's not that. I'm really being transparent with you. I don't make any money off that stuff. And the views aren't very good on review videos, but I want to do it. I just want to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, man. If you really like your guitar, and you're not a dork about it, then I'm sorry. And I'm gonna not do it anymore. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Now, if you're a dork about it, even if you get in these comments and I told you so and whatever, we just shut you off. You know what I mean? So it's nothing to do with the guitar. It's how are you gonna handle it? You know. Anyway, a little longer one, but hey, when it needs to be said, it needs to be said.